Currently, the sport of boxing boasts a multitude of great fighters, each competing to become the mythical pound-for-pound best in the entire world.
Boxing today is brimming with elite fighters, each vying for the coveted title of the sport's pound-for-pound best. With high-level matchups becoming more frequent than ever, one fighter has capitalized on this golden era to solidify his place in history: Ukraine's undefeated superstar, Oleksandr Usyk. In the spring of 2024, Usyk etched his name into the annals of boxing greatness by defeating Tyson Fury in a thrilling showdown, becoming the first undisputed heavyweight champion of the four-belt era. However, this monumental achievement was just the latest chapter in a career filled with remarkable milestones. In this video, we explore the defining moments of Usyk's career and the unique qualities that make him one of the sport's all-time greats. The amateur legacy. While his recent accomplishments have garnered global recognition, Usyk's journey to greatness began long before he stepped into the professional ranks. His amateur career laid the foundation for his dominance, built on years of discipline and rigorous training. Usyk compiled an astonishing record of 335 wins out of 350 fights, competing in elite international tournaments from the age of 18. By 21, he had already earned a spot on Ukraine's Olympic team, making his debut at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Winning an Olympic gold medal is the pinnacle of amateur boxing, but Usyk's first attempt ended in disappointment when he was eliminated in the quarterfinals by Italy's Clemente Russo. Rather than being discouraged, this setback ignited a relentless drive within him. Determined to reach the top, Usyk embarked on an intense four-year journey to redemption. During this period, he secured gold at the 2008 European Championships and the 2011 World Championships, establishing himself as a dominant force in the amateur ranks. By the time the 2012 London Olympics arrived, Usyk was one of the tournament's leading contenders. He delivered masterful performances against Russia's Artur Beterbiev and Bulgaria's Tervel Pulev, setting the stage for a rematch with Clemente Russo in the final, his chance at redemption. The first round saw Russo gain an early edge, forcing Usyk to shift gears. Adopting a more aggressive and high-volume approach, he dominated the later rounds, securing a decisive victory and claiming the coveted Olympic gold medal. With his amateur dream fulfilled, Usyk turned professional, embarking on a career that would see him redefine the sport and carve out a legacy as one of boxing's greatest champions. Oleksandr Usyk, the road to heavyweight, glory Olympic. Triumph and amateur legacy. Usyk's ability to close the distance and unleash quick combinations turned the tide in his favor during the Olympic final. A desperate push from Clemente Russo in CEA. The third round allowed Usyk to counter effectively, utilizing sharp movement and precise punches. By the final bell, Usyk had secured a 14-11 victory, avenging his loss from Beijing and becoming Ukraine's Olympic heavyweight champion. By his own admission, this Olympic gold remains the most cherished achievement of his career. After an exhausting amateur journey of 350 fights, battling opponents of diverse styles worldwide, Usyk had finally reached the pinnacle of amateur boxing, dominating the cruiserweight division. Having conquered the amateur circuit's highest honor, Usyk's transition to the professional ranks was highly anticipated. From his debut in November 2013, it took him only 9 fights, all won by knockout, to earn a world title shot. His breakthrough came against undefeated WBO champion Krzysztof Głowacki, where Usyk showcased his elite skills to claim his first professional world title. This victory fast-tracked him into the World Boxing Super Series, WBSS, a revolutionary tournament featuring the best cruiserweights in the world. BSS tournament and cruiserweight supremacy. In the first round, Usyk faced Marco Huck, a former longtime champion. Understanding the experience Huck brought, Usyk overwhelmed him with relentless pressure and precise power shots, forcing a 10th round stoppage. The victory cemented Usyk as the tournament favorite. His next challenge came in the semifinals, against Maris Bridis, the undefeated WBC champion. Unlike previous opponents, Bridis was at the peak of his career and possessed technical skills to match Usyk. The fight became a tactical battle, testing Usyk's endurance and adaptability. He displayed incredible resilience, outlasting Bridis in a grueling contest to unify the WBO and WBC titles. For the final, Usyk faced the formidable Murat Gassiev, a 26-0 knockout artist who had dominated his way to the championship bout. As the IBF and WBA champion, Gassiev was just as hungry to become the first ever undisputed cruiserweight champion in the four-belt era. However, Usyk's masterful footwork, precise jab, and defensive awareness neutralized Gassiev's power. A brief scare in the fourth round was quickly shaken off, and Usyk's dazzling performance led to a dominant unanimous decision victory. At 31 years old, Usyk had become the undisputed cruiserweight champion, winning all his fights in enemy territory, and solidifying his status as one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. The Tony Bellew Challenge in cruiserweight farewell. Before moving up to heavyweight, Usyk returned to the UK for a high-profile bout against Tony Bellew, one of the few top challengers outside the WBSS tournament. The fight ended spectacularly in an 8th-round knockout, earning Usyk a new wave of British fans. By this stage, comparisons to Evander Holyfield, a fellow Olympic gold medalist and undisputed cruiserweight champion, became inevitable. Like Holyfield, Usyk's next move was clear: to conquer the heavyweight division. Entering the heavyweight ranks, Usyk's cruiserweight achievements alone would have been enough to secure a Hall of Fame career. However, fighters of exceptional talent are often expected to take on greater challenges. From legends like Sugar Ray Robinson and Henry Armstrong, to modern greats like Roy Jones Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, the ability to defeat champions in higher weight classes is a key mark of pound-for-pound greatness. For Usyk, this challenge was particularly daunting, moving from a 200-pound division to competing against giants with no weight limit. Nevertheless, in just 6 heavyweight fights, he managed to claim all 4 major world titles, dethroning 2 of the best heavyweights of his generation. The Joshua Showdown. Heavyweight supremacy begins after introductory wins over Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora. Usyk leveraged his WBO super champion status from cruiserweight to earn a shot at Anthony Joshua, the unified WBO, WBA, and IBF heavyweight champion. The stage was set for a historic showdown. Interestingly, both men had won Olympic gold in the same arena in London just a day apart in 2012, Joshua in super heavyweight and Usyk in heavyweight. Joshua had since become a global superstar, boasting an impressive knockout record and a size advantage of almost 20 pounds. Most experts favored Joshua, seeing him as too powerful for the smaller Usyk. However, Usyk had other plans. Draining the giant, Usyk's relentless pressure, Usyk's aggressive footwork and relentless pace forced Fury into a constant battle for positioning, dragging his 260-pound frame across the ring just to maintain breathing room. This frantic rhythm was something Fury had never experienced before, and the effects began to show as early as rounds 7 and 8. With Usyk regaining control, the momentum of the fight shifted dramatically. The Ukrainian's masterful tactics finally reached their climax in a breathtaking 9th round. A devastating left hand left Fury staggering, his legs betraying him as Usyk unleashed a ferocious assault. The referee came close to stepping in, but just as a knockdown was called, the bell rang, saving Fury from an imminent stoppage. A fight that many believed Fury was comfortably winning had now been flipped on its head by Usyk's extraordinary resilience and strategic genius, crowning the undisputed champion. With his intelligent tactics and relentless pressure, Usyk controlled the final 3 rounds, doing just enough to secure a hard-fought split decision victory. The official scorecards read 15-112 Usyk, 114-113, Fury 114-113 Usyk. And with that, Oleksandr Usyk was crowned the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Usyk's greatness, defined with 3 consecutive victories over 2 of the era's best heavyweights, Usyk entered an exclusive club. Alongside Naoya Inoue and Terence Crawford, he became one of the few male fighters in the 4-belt era to achieve undisputed status in 2 different weight classes. He came up through one of the toughest cruiserweight eras. Not every generation produces this level of talent. He became the undisputed champion against elite competition, and then moved up to heavyweight and did it all over again. This historic feat naturally led to comparisons with his idol, Evander Holyfield, the only other fighter to unify titles at both cruiserweight and heavyweight. Holyfield fought everyone, unified the belts, and cemented his place as one of the greatest. Usyk now follows in his footsteps. While today's heavyweight division may not be as deep as Holyfield's era, Usyk's ability to neutralize bigger, stronger opponents like Joshua and Fury proves that his skills would have translated across any generation. True road warrior. What makes Usyk's dominance even more remarkable is the path he took to achieve it. A true road warrior, he has not fought in his native Ukraine since his 9th professional bout. From cruiserweight to heavyweight, he conquered world champions on foreign soil, often in their home countries. Krzysztof Głowacki, Poland; Miris Bridis, Latvia; Murat Gassiev, Russia; Tony Bellew, UK; Anthony Joshua, UK. The only exception was his bout against Tyson Fury, which took place on neutral ground in Saudi Arabia. Don't worry, we win anywhere. Usyk's legacy. Icing on the cake. At 37 years old, Usyk may not have the luxury of time to build a long and storied heavyweight legacy. However, with his dominant cruiserweight reign and undisputed heavyweight triumph, he has already done more than enough to cement himself as an all-time great. For many, Usyk has already secured his place as the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. From this point forward, every victory, including his highly anticipated rematch with Fury in December, is simply the icing on the cake. Usyk's journey to greatness, following in Holyfield's footsteps. From the moment he entered the professional ranks, Oleksandr Usyk was often compared to his childhood hero, Evander Holyfield. Both fighters carved out legendary amateur careers before tearing through Hall of Fame competition in the cruiserweight division to become undisputed champions. Bill Clancy steps in. Evander Holyfield is the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. With both men firmly established as the greatest cruiserweights of all time, only one challenge remained for Usyk: to replicate Holyfield's success at heavyweight. Stepping into the heavyweight arena. Even before making the leap to heavyweight, Usyk's resume was already first ballot Hall of Fame worthy. However, as with all fighters of extraordinary talent, there is an expectation to push boundaries, to step out of one's comfort zone and take on the challenge of fighting in higher weight divisions. A crushing left hook by Sugar Ray Robinson. Down goes his opponent. Vintage Robinson. From Sugar Ray Robinson and Henry Armstrong to Roy Jones Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, history's greatest fighters have earned their pound-for-pound status by conquering heavier divisions. Usyk faced an even greater challenge, a weight class with no upper limit, where his opponents would hold a massive size and power advantage. Yet, in just 6 heavyweight fights, he defied expectations, capturing all 4 major world titles by defeating 2 of the best heavyweights of his era. The heavyweight ascent begins Usyk's transition to heavyweight, started with 2 introductory bouts against Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora, both of whom he dispatched with skill and precision. Good action here, Usyk opens up, and now he's got Chisora on the back foot. However, his true breakthrough came when his WBO super champion status from cruiserweight earned him an automatic mandatory shot at then-unified champion Anthony Joshua, who held the WBO, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles. I've always jumped in at the deep end. I'm ready to swim and take these chances. No risk, no reward. Anthony Joshua and Usyk were seemingly destined to collide. Both men won Olympic gold in 2012, just 1 day apart in the same arena. In the blue corner, representing Great Britain, your Olympic super heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua. From the moment he turned professional, Joshua was widely expected to become the next superstar heavyweight champion. However, a select few analysts foresaw a different scenario, predicting that one day, Usyk would rise through the ranks and challenge Joshua's supremacy. I wasn't in the amateur scene long enough to know Usyk, but once I got heavily into boxing, I started researching. I knew he was special. 9 years later, they met again, this time as rivals inside a packed London stadium. The home favorite Joshua, with an already decorated reign as world champion, entered as the betting favorite, outweighing Usyk by nearly 20 pounds. Beyond his size and strength, Joshua's explosive power made him a nightmare matchup for any undersized challenger, a masterclass in movement and precision. For many of Joshua's past opponents, one wrong move had resulted in a swift and brutal knockout. But for those who had studied Usyk's career, there was an understanding that this fight posed a unique threat in the opposite direction. Usyk's southpaw precision stuns the British crowd. Joshua's power is undeniable, but Usyk's chin holds firm. Much to the shock of 65,000 pro-Joshua fans, Usyk neutralized the bigger man with a blend of constant movement, feints, and rapid-fire combinations. Beautiful shot. Joshua's hurt here in the 3rd round. Despite his significant size and strength advantage, Joshua chose to dial back his power in an attempt to improve his accuracy. However, Usyk remained 1 step ahead, refusing to let Joshua find his rhythm. As the rounds ticked by, Joshua, slowed by Usyk's relentless pressure, found himself struggling to keep up. By the championship rounds, It became increasingly clear that history was about to be made. When the final bell rang, all three judges favored Usyk's ring generalship, work rate, and superior boxing IQ, a stunning victory and immediate rematch with. That, Usyk etched his name in history, becoming only the third boxer, after Evander Holyfield and David Haye, to win world titles at both cruiserweight and heavyweight. While Usyk's performance was widely celebrated, Joshua's approach was heavily criticized. Many believed his tentative strategy had cost him the fight. Determined to reclaim his titles, Joshua immediately triggered his rematch clause and brought in renowned trainer Robert Garcia, known for instilling an aggressive, pressure-based fighting style. He held back too much in the first fight. He focused on boxing. He can also be an aggressive fighter. With Joshua more determined than ever, and Usyk ready to prove his dominance once again, the stage was